What is going on, everybody? My beautiful RDDC family. Welcome back. I can't. How can I do it like that one guy? You know the one from your intros that you have, the one that's like
R
the
double
real
D
double dose
C
champ.
R double D C D
I
C.
like that voice. That little intro you got
Oh,
going on.
that was Mr. D himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like that one.
well, I mean,
Um,
this is a True Seekers Mastermind presented by RDC, Road Up Channel as a platform, the
correct.
originator of that. So boom, let's get it.
Boom, boom. Anyways, welcome back to another episode, and as you can see, this is actually part two of an episode we have previously had. We're trying to do the rollouts to where we could just do them back to back rather than having you wait a couple weeks later or something similar in that situation. Because sometimes we even forget where we left off, have to go back and listen to it, and just to keep the juices flowing and rolling, right? So wherever it is you're listening to this, iHeartRadio, Speaker.com, Chromecast, Giovanni, Podcast, Podchaser. Uh, that's it. I tried. Anyway, welcome to all you new listeners as well. My name is Hector Rivera
Good try,
with
good try.
thank you with the Real Double Dose channel, and you will see my segments on Fridays, Heck versus Hell, where the truth we tell, of course. And this is the beautiful one and only mystical, spiritual, elevated, never understated, always demonstrated Lexus T.
Don't let me slate it. Oh, it's not gated. Hey, okay. The
Mm.
rhyming didn't go too well. It's kind of good to have it. Sometimes we have to push ourselves, A lot of people, and I'm trying to say a lot of people will go, and this is a conversational talk too. It's not just, as you can see, it's about having that conversation with everyone. And yeah, I hope your day is going blessed, your night, wherever you are, morning, the middle of the night. I know we have from all Australia, Switzerland, France, Nigeria, Kenya, Turkey, Pakistan. We have them in Istanbul, Italy, especially. We have Canada, of course, our USANs, California, and then we always have our beautiful Montana. Oh man, everywhere. I mean, I gotta look at. I love seeing the different states and stuff that are there. It's just really fun. Germany in the house. You guys have been consistently on there. Pleasant View, all of them going on and beyond.
Jamaica.
Oklahoma, Florida, Philadelphia, Philly, Nueva York, New York's in the house, New Jersey. I can go throughout Colorado, Texas, of course, absolutely. Minnesota, yes, Minnesota's been on there too. Colombia, boom, in the house. We also got Mexico también that's been on there. Basically almost every place that I can think of. At this point right now, there's probably a few that I'm missing, but we've seen so many countries. Ghana, different ones, just different ones in general. And we've seen Hong Kong. Yes, we have Korea, all of them, China, different ones. I mean, it's been in there, especially UK. They have Europe up in there. We have them going on until the break of dawn. So I just wanted to say that these conversations are to kind of get the juices flowing, keep yourself flowing, and feel the journey of where you are within it, or just maybe even learn some context into these things. And as I mentioned in the last one before we did the intro from the severe thunderstorm that is seeming to be on the map for me at least. So yeah, we're gonna have some extraterrestrial talks and different things of the Anunnaki,
Ooh.
the Nephilim, all kinds of different stuff. So we got some pretty deep stuff. Hopefully, we can have Mr. on here himself.
Thank,
I would love to
yeah.
have, and honestly, it would be so fun to dig in his brain because he has been on a journey. I'm just saying, not everybody's
I'm gonna
correct.
go and I'm actually gonna intentionally bleep out the name just to give him a little more edge of your seat kind of situation, you know.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But we'll
That's
say
kind of cool. I like that.
he will say, well, he is a very well-known, profound researcher when it comes to ancient history, and a lot of history that isn't even talked about as such, right? As you're mentioning, the Anunnaki, different types of Nephilim, the kids of the Anunnaki, uh, different, even going into the understanding of how the pyramids were built, because that's still one of the biggest, questions in today's day, right? How the heck they did that with so much precision, especially in those days where they didn't have the tools that we have now. So he's very well versed, very knowledgeable on that area. So if you didn't get the name, that's all right. You'll see him rolling out hopefully soon. Um, and we're just gonna have a lot more people coming in, a lot of different conversations. I'm also hoping to get that one. I think you mentioned about too that he said something about, was it like the lack of melanin almost makes you non-human? You remember that?
Yeah, I actually said
Yeah,
that.
have him on here hopefully.
It's as the
Genetic
not sure if
code.
she was European or she was Caucasian or what, but she had did a video about that went controversial. She said, "We are." I'm not saying this for myself, but she said they in her culturism of being Caucasian or European or whatever she was claiming a genetic. Um, can't think of the name. It's oh my gosh, I forgot what it is. It's actually not even yeah. To be without melanin is genetic flaw. I can't think of the name. It's one of those not incubus. I can't think of the name.
I think I know what
But
you're talking about. Not mutation.
yeah, mutation. Yep. There
Oh,
you
okay.
go. Mhm.
Well, mutation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember actually we had a good buddy of ours tell us too. We're not going to disclose any names or anything like that, but he was actually telling us about how he did some research. He's a man that tries to be as close to God as possible. And his wife actually has a specific blood type. I can't remember what it was. I believe it might have been like O negative or O positive or something like that. And he was telling us how that's actually like a Nephilim descended bloodline, and how he physically and biologically can't have children with her because of that bloodline in specific. So
Wow.
it's yeah, it's a very, very interesting understanding of that. All that good stuff. Let's just roll that out when it comes by. But anyways, we're gonna get back on track onto this episode because this one is still gonna be about the attack of the kingdom of heaven, part two. Because we just didn't have enough time to fit it all in one part. Give it to you in segments. Have you take a little break. Come back to this one if you haven't
Hmm.
watched it already. Take a little break. Watch part two, and here we are right now. All right, you're back. Hello. So, yeah, we're gonna go into that continuation, and although that conversation does have a lot to do with the attacks themselves. We might roll a little bit of that out actually, about how they have their own roles and parts in attacking us as the kingdom of heaven, because we see so many situations too, especially nowadays with all the cameras. You can see it everywhere. A lot of people are starting to go and kind of open their eyes and see that these adversaries actually do work in people. Even whenever you see it as some people going and getting quote unquote triggered, you see they just go act in such a manner that is not even them. Like they literally act outside of themselves, right? Is incredible. And I know you know what I'm talking about. I've sent you a couple of those, right, Lex?
They
How
act
people
like
just go.
yeah, well, I mean, it's just like the movie when you possess basically, and they're just lashing out and get so angry. And we could say it's a cancel culture to say, "Oh, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear." But like, why are you so mad though? Why are you so upset over these people? Why do you get so upset? I understand what's working in you. Why you get so upset over the name of Jesus Christ or the journey that was taken? It's almost like a person can't believe the sacrifice that was done for them to be in this life, and then they get mad about the life maybe they're living or what they can't control, instead of understanding that because we come from that such of a high source, we're a part of that high source. And it's up to us to find the clarity inside of ourselves and connect to the only high source in order to be able to live this life and the other life we live once our bodies are, quote, resting. And we live that other life when we're in those scapes. Now, they say that when you don't remember where you are, your dream or dream vision, I like to call it dream and vision, is because your blockage point is too thick. I remember some time ago I had that thing too where I was like upset. I couldn't remember anything. I just felt like I closed my eyes in the blackness and woke up 6 hours later. And I was like, what's going on? Like, I was just like, no, I was uncomfortable. And the moment it came
Mm,
back, man, ever notice you will go to sleep and you wake up and you feel like you haven't even went to sleep because you were in so many worlds? And
yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
amazing how people will discount the kingdom of heaven. For the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not over here. It's not over there. It's not on this outlet. It's not over here. And the mountains, it's
Absolutely.
within you. So ultimately, it had to be done. I mean, you think about it. Christ was ascended from God, the seed given to Mary from the Holy Spirit, not a man's DNA from an untouched body, but hers. Now, the egg formity itself, that was from the bloodline of David, King David. Some people will say, oh, well, God could have definitely, and we can't know the deep science behind it, but spirits look for bloodlines. They don't look for faces and, who shot John and whatever else. They look for bloodline. That's what they smell. Everything has its own way, even its rituals. Why do you think people get so excited about barbecues? I mean, think about it. When it's like, oh, it's open stuff. It's something about the way the food burns on the grill. It's the way the smoke flies up in the
Mm.
air and it hits every essence. It's a difference. And if you are an avid meat lover, ooh, give me some oxtails, less barbecue. Okay, sorry, I've been craving oxtails for a while. But if you are, you remember when you smell or when you drive, even if it's grilled vegetables or grilled tofu, whatever you do, there's a certain aroma that smoke and that fire give. Not charcoal briquettes, but it's that sacrificial. And I want to say, adding on to that is, well, I guess the same thing Heck was just saying. People have this profoundness where they just attack. No, I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about, because people have tried to downplay so long what God is, what Christ is. They try to manipulate it and put it in
Hmm.
their own little bubble. They put the shackles of stigma on it. You can't even say the word
The
God, Christ.
universe.
Yeah, without like, oh, I give it to the universe. I give it to the. I'm like, yeah, but you remember who created the universe. And at the end
Hmm.
of the day, you can try to avoid homage all you want, but homage is always given because it comes from the creator of all things. But ultimately, why do people get so upset? You get so upset because you don't want to give the power to where it's due. You have something else controlling
Right,
you.
man.
And you think because the rule book of life is telling you how to live life, but you still have free will, is holding you back. It's almost like people believe if I believe in the Bible or anything else, I have to live this way and not be able to do the things that I like. So basically, is you just
They
wanting
see
to
it
be,
backwards. Yeah.
yeah. And then ultimately, too, the trade, let's not discount it, religious shackles. Growing up,
Hmm.
understanding my native principles, understanding I won't say Colombiana lifestyle per se, but the Latino factor of Catholicism and different lives of, now I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say brujeria, but brujeria, whatever. But it's just different stuff that you learn culturally or you hear about. And then
Right.
growing up in the Seventh-day Adventist practice, not to stab them or anybody else, and hearing our different associates with Jehovah Witness, Mormon, Protestant, Baptist, it goes on and on and on. So you have those religious shackles, then you say, well, that's why I don't want to hear about it, because religion just, yeah, religion separates. It doesn't come together. And a lot of them stay in their own mini cults. I will say that. And you guys can get mad. But if you really sit down next time, if you do go attend church or even here and there the regular, sit down and see how the structure is. People need to be invited in and be able to have an open view. Not to say you can come in and do whatever you want, learn about God, and you're fine. It's not the point of that. The point is let God be the freedom that they taste and not our stigma on what we believe God's freedom is. So I believe all these attacks, to say it in a nutshell, all these attacks on the kingdom of heaven is because people are so without themselves, they don't want to go within themselves. They don't want to feel
Mm.
yeah, the journey within themselves. Then the journey it's not the yoga mat and tea. It's not the sitting there doing the alms and the hand cliches and all the other stuff to get into this moment of peace. Because ultimately, if you knew what peace was, you'd be able to close your eyes and zone out and listen to the rain and put them in your earphones like I do. That's what I learned a long time ago. I never could do those things because I did have the guidelines of understanding the principles, but reading the Bible all day long won't get you there. Okay, sitting there talking about this and this and that and looking up different speakers or whatever won't get you there. It'll help you, but it won't get you there. It's about you allowing, so letting yourself say, hey, why am I against such things? Why am I against this? Be open to learning more about the beginning of time, because regardless of what you want to say, you want to break it down, how you want to cut it, how you want to do it, let's be real about it. The Bible has been
Boom.
around. Yep, exact. Boom. It's been around. You can't get rid of it. It's not going nowhere. And let's be real. Do any of us have a secret little book that's been passed down for the last thousands and thousands of years on the book of life? No. We even have a game, and I think it's called Final
Mm, mm,
Fantasy.
mm.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's called Final Fantasy. No shade, no endorsement, but I don't know. There was some game out there that had like the book of life or the book of something, and you had to obtain it. All the creations, and we'd be a fool to believe.
Mm.
We're almost living in a mindset where we are the gods. Like we don't need the God who created us. We have our own creations and robots and life and our
I
own
would say
this.
not even that, because even then we're just so brainwashed to not even, we
Well, not even just that.
minimize
I would say not
ourselves.
even just that, but yeah, it is that, but not even just that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like we minimize ourselves to being subject to the creation of reality that was created for us within, your society, your culture, your background, where you grew up. We become subject to it. So we get to a point where, yeah, we're definitely doing that to some extent, of where we see ourselves as gods, and don't want to acknowledge something greater than us, but we're still becoming subject to something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we don't want to submit for some reason, yet we're doing it every single day. They're just so good at manipulation, and that's why it's different, because God will not allow you to have not have free will, should I say. Okay, so he gives you free will all the time, even whenever you're in the situation where you're born again. You have so much freedom. Yet people see it backwards, that whenever you live this type of way, that you're so restricted, you can't do this, you can't do that. You get to a point where you're in shackles, yet you're in shackles right now walking around. You're in shackles with every single situation. And I remember even Kanye said that, right? He said that we're literally go, and you ever see a kid, whenever he goes, jumps on a coffee table, his mom or someone is screaming at him like, hey, don't get on there, right? He learns that that's a blockade. Okay, don't act the fool, don't jump on a coffee table. So we're ran by coffee tables every single day in our life. And he's said some out of pocket stuff before, but that was something that was very profound that he said, actually. So it really doesn't make sense. Some of these people's way of thinking, it really doesn't make sense. But that's the thing, is they work and coincide together. So we have to understand that. And whenever we read the actual verse, I got to pull it up right now, about the spiritual, what is it called? The spiritual forces in high places.
I had to go, everyone, just in case you want to know, I had to go grab, it's really humid up here. I had to grab my tank top and I was away because I didn't want to make too much noise as I literally dropped my earrings everywhere. So that's my bad. But yeah,
Okay.
the power of principalities.
Yeah, so it's Ephesians 6:12. It's, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world,
Mhm.
against spiritual wickedness in high places. And I believe there's actually a part that is left out, but it talks about these rulers in high places. So they work together. They coincide together. So the same person that's, quote unquote, building the matrix, right, is working right there alongside the same ones that allow you to act some type of way, that are trying to manipulate and control you and influence you, right? We
Mhm.
just don't see it as much. There's people that are out here saying, oh, they hear voices in their heads, and we think they're crazy, but the difference is you just don't know how to differentiate the voices you hear from your own voice, because you've been living with it so long.
Bars, bars.
I was a bar.
Yeah, it was deep. That's true.
But that's that's really how it is. So is harder to see it, like you say, right? It's harder to see it whenever you're in the situation, the gravity of the situation. You really have to step outside yourself, and that's why a lot of the things that are also taught is prayer, meditation, and fasting, because it allows you to step outside of yourself and really analyze yourself, really analyze what you're doing, how you're living, the actions that you are taking on a day-to-day basis, all the decisions that you make, why you're making those decisions in the first place, what your belief systems are, why you even had those belief systems to begin with, which ones are coinciding with God's culture, and which ones are going against it, that you have to change ultimately, and know how to target it, because that's really, it's work that we have to put into. You know, even though we're born as new creatures, I could go, if I really wanted to, because I have that free will, I could go back into the old lifestyle and just start living that life again, right? Whatever life it may be. Same thing for any of you listening right now. You could be doing the same thing. Just go retrace your steps, go straight back on that wide and open path. You know, it's a little harder because now we actually have the conviction of the Holy Spirit, but we could. You know, we ultimately could. But I mean, it's exactly what you were saying about how we just got to be able to analyze it, how all these situations are just in place, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, what would be the point of having it against anything? Like the ease and flow of the ebb and flow, as they say. I believe it's a lot easier for us to go against something because it also gives us an excuse to take out our frustrations that we feel already in life. That's just what I see. And
Hmm.
as far as the attacks go, you don't, I mean, from my jurisdiction of where I've been around, they don't attack anything more than they do Christianity itself.
Hmm.
Christianity is the believing in Christ is what it is, right? I'm a Christian. And then you see so many people, and I know that it deters a lot of people. When you see people saying that they're a part of something and in actual reality, they're not, they're reflecting what they should be because they're misled or misguided by their own choices. We seem to think,
Hmm.
well, that's what Christian I don't want to be. I don't blame you. But at the same time, you have to get to the meat and potatoes of what is, just like a restaurant. So I say that because, food is beautiful. Okay.
Universal. Mhm.
Universal, beautiful. You get to a point to where you say, well, I don't want to try this. They have bad reviews, but ultimately, what is it? Is it a bad review based on what you don't want to try, or is it a bad review based on what somebody else has said? Now, I know sometimes, just maybe in between, when you have different things go on, I've had things where I'm like, I have just some reviews. Um, Even when I shop at Walmart, no endorsement here, no shade, but at the same time, it's my personal experience. When I have to go through all those things, I'm sitting here like, okay, well, maybe I'll just take what they say. Maybe this deodorant is not gonna be too well. Maybe this bra, whatever it might be, it's not gonna be the best. And then sometimes I try it. I'm like, what are these people talking about? And sometimes I look at the reviews and they confuse you. Some people are like, oh, I hated it. Don't waste your money. And some people are like, man, it's the best thing ever. And you have to take that kind of Russian roulette on it and see for yourself. And either way, it'll be in between or one or the other. So instead of looking at Christianity itself as the person that's saying it, or how I grew up knowing that you have to put on, you've been you've been trained from the behavior, how to look like a Christian, how to sound like one, how to move like one, or try to openly think like one, but you're not really into the steps of Christ. You're not into the whole movement of that. And honestly, from everything that you think that you like right now, it's just a replacement of what you'll love once you get a chance to understand what loves you first, authentically and beyond. And you can say, well, why do I have such a life like this, Lex? And heck, why is my life so turned upside down? If I have a God that loves me so much, no, excuse me, the God who loves me so much and all this other stuff, why did I do this? Why did I go to foster care? Why did I get raped? Why did I get hurt? Why did I get molested? Why are these things happening to me? Why can't I pay my bills? Why is my child suffering in school? Why am I sitting here going with a cheating person? And because one thing is, no matter how misguided you think your life is, it's still on a guide point to guide someone else and guide you where you have to be. And ultimately, it's just like the games we play in the Olympics and whatever else in the Super Mario Karts, whatever you want to say. It's the same thing. It's a learning experience, and we are the God force down from the little trinkets of raindrops. I can just put it in raindrops that God has allowed to be expressed in. And because for his pleasure or the pleasure of the beings of all things says, look, I want to give life into something that's my image and my reflection to be able to experience this life and be a part of it. And this is what I made in love. And you don't know. And I'm not saying that Satan had to or not, but I'm saying right now, you will not understand love until you understand hate. You do not understand feeling good until you understand a level of pain or discomfort. You will not understand what a good meal is until you tasted a bad one. You will not understand any of those things without a reflection of that love. And because of that free will we had, regardless of how the outcome came or not, that's what it is. You're here right now, and the only ticket you're ever going to get out of here, if God comes right now and says, hey, boop, or you're going to go to sleep. Sleep, they say, is for death, and rest is resting the body while you're still breathing. So I will say, don't base that your attacks on, oh, well, Christianity, I heard so much about this, and it doesn't matter if it's for whatever, Catholicism, anything, Muslim, whatever. I'm calling it all out. At the end of the day, you won't have people on there just going against this, going against that, but everybody, oh, I don't want to hear about that. It's the most scared name that people don't want to say for a stigma, but the most best top name that runs from when things start happening to you. And then when you get it, it's a, oh, yeah, it's not a lotto ticket. You know, just the same way you do something for your child, heck can concur. Whatever you feel like. But when you do something for someone, you want the love and acknowledgement inside the person first. That's like you taking your spouse out and bringing them on a whole shopping spree, enjoying themselves, and they go back to the phone when they get home, look at you and smile. You thinking they're gonna just, sit down and have a little wine and candlelight with you, and they're like, just go to the room, put their bags down, and call their friends like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I just went to the mall, went shopping, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so what's up with you? Close the door, and you're like, wait a minute. You're like, well, I didn't do that for favors, but the reason why they have all those bags in order to talk about something or the phone that they have is because I sacrificed that love for them to have it. So you're just going to shut me out now that you got what you wanted? So what, you're going to come sit with me again when you want to go shopping and do all that, but you didn't even acknowledge me? That's the whole point. The whole point is the reason why God is always reaching out to you somehow. I remember on the exorcism of Emily Rose, very give you chills up and down your spine, watch it in the daytime away from nighttime. I'm just telling you, because if you really look at it from a spiritual point, that will give you chills up your spine. Okay, not on just a horror movie, like for real. That girl went through something. That girl went through something. And it's not the point she was a Catholic girl, whatever. She went through something. And she stuck with me until this day. And then her attorney, I forgot her initials, but she said she was walking and she was agnostic, and she looked on the ground and she found a little gold chain that had her initials in it to know she was on the right path, even though she didn't even have an open dialogue. The thing is, you can't get away from God because God is a part of you. Don't you get it? No matter how much you try to cut it off, no matter how much you try to act like it doesn't exist, it always will, because even when you go back, your breath doesn't belong to the flesh, it belongs to God. God is information. God is into life. God can't sit there and work through. It's a different life force through a cow or a duck or anything else like that. They were made for our pleasure, just as we were made for God's pleasure. And to live that. And when I get the book series, I've been talking the heck about this for a while. I'm going to really teach those out there of you who are listening to it. We'll have it on all the syndicates, but I'm going to teach you how to become the divinity of understanding God's position in your own writing, and it will change the game on your perspective completely. I'm going to do a free masterclass about it, and if you want some extra deep diving and getting it, then that'll be a whole nother level. But I want to at least give people that power to feel it, because that's the way I believe you can connect to God on a whole nother level that you never thought to. And that came from me much longer, further down in the line, but it does. It changes it. So I know I went on my deep here, but I had to give it to you just like that. And energy is very sparse for me. And heck will tell you, sometimes it's like the bags under my eyes are deep. But like one of the young men said when I went to go have my grocery pickup, so like almost a few months ago now, I think, he said, when I see those dark circles under your eyes, I know that they come from something good. They might not look the best. He told me that, and I believe that was a witness. He said they may not look the best, and I was putting my bags in the trunk, and I felt so bad because I almost hide my face. People look at me like, "Whoa," and glasses sometimes, especially reading glasses, because I got to read stuff from afar. Like they can make your eyes, and your glass wearers, this, they can make your eyes kind of look more sucked in for some reason, or make darker under. I don't know why they do that. Contacts are on the way. I'm just saying, in between the jelly ones, get some options because you don't ever want them to break, but he said they're good because it shows that you're so into what you do and how you're for it, you're willing to lose sleep over, or whatever's taking that from you is you're still lit up, right? That's the whole thing. God is such a permeation, such a bright light, a mechanism. And we think because we do good deeds, a person could go through life doing the best things, donating, helping, doing all of that. But if they don't give their life up to the one that gave them life, it doesn't matter. They're not going to reach the kingdom of heaven because they don't know the author. They don't know the creator of the kingdom of heaven. So how can you knock on a door that you don't even know is there? How can you be directed inside that door if you're never seeking it? That's the beauty and the other side, or the flip side of, I guess, heaven and hell. The flip side of having that free will. Because if you don't know, then how? And then you do know. Okay, let's put it in retrospect. So at this point, information is at our fingertips, right? And our audience, okay, you guys are a part of this conversation. It's at our fingertips. So we can't say that. And I remember one of the Amazonian videos they had. I don't know if it was National Geographic, Nat Geo, or where, but I remember this guy was sitting there in this beautiful, secluded little tribe somewhere in the heart or the midst of Africa. And he was saying them. It could have been somewhere over there. It's definitely not in this country area. But he was saying they asked him, so how do you know how to these ceremonies they're doing? How do you know about God? You know about the Bible? He said, I don't know about the Bible. I don't know about the God you speak of. But if it's the God that you speak of that we lift our arms up to and we thank for everything that we have every day, that's the one that we praise. So they didn't know about the Bible. They didn't know about the stories we knew. They didn't know any of that, but they had their own ancestral conversations, of course. But they're so disconnected from, quote, this kind of toxicity society or any TVs or phones or anything, really secluded, not even to the villages close to them. They're preserved. That they're like, we know that someone had to create these plants and trees that we eat. Someone created this water so we could drink. Someone gave us the knowledge. Something created this. And then we might not know the name that you know, but we know how to give grace and homage to it. That right there is phenomenal. So I just want to say, to cap that off, stop the attacks on yourself because the kingdom of heaven is within you. So anytime you're against the kingdom, you're against yourself. Think about that. Hashtag, you're against the kingdom, you're against yourself. And ultimately, if you want to go down in flames, that's where you're headed to. That's what it is. And what do you mean submit?
Right.
Well, if you're not doing what you need to do anyway, why? Like if I have things that there's different things. Whatever's done in the dark comes to the light. I might not be happy over every action that I make, every food that I eat, or if I gain weight or lose weight. If I want to go to a marijuana shop and sit there and smoke, listen, free will is about enjoying life and understanding that you do have free will to enjoy life. You absolutely do. You have a reason to enjoy every food on earth. And then the Bible teaches you what foods are clean for longevity and which aren't not. But you have the right of what you put in your mouth comes out the bottom. But what you have in your heart is always permeated against you. In some kind of words of Christ, I can't say it all the way, but I will say, like, that's there. You have the right to enjoy that. But remember when you're in that decadence of giving homage to where it's due. And that's also giving love and not really praise, but love and responsibility to yourself. Because you truly can't love your child, you can't love your spouse, you can't love anybody without loving the self in the self, not loving yourself. Because yourself is the self of what gave you breath. And then you understand the extension of what you are to be self. So you have to get those retrospects in there. And no matter how much you like it or how much you want to shake it or cut it, I'm going to serve it to you raw because that's what it is. The Truth Seekers Mastermind Alliance is getting into the core and being able to understand who you are and what's going on deep inside of you. You can pretend all day it's about your kids. You can pretend it's about your shopping bill and all these things. But one thing I really have been guilty of, the conviction of myself, Heck can speak for himself on that, and you can too, is telling myself that Christ's name is strong. God has my back. Everything's there, but I never allow God to do the things that God can do. It's like we say it just for a mantra, but at the same time, I'm such a moveaholic, workaholic kind of thing. I'm thinking, well, I don't want to just sit here and just expect God to do, but it is for me to sit in where I am and move right so God can do what God does and understand with the faith and then belief, because belief can't come without the faith that is going to happen. And during the dry seasons and the droughts doesn't mean you're not in the promised land. And I remember one of the prophets, I said the prophet E was saying, don't get misguided by that. Just stay focused. People, I'm just saying, get that. Who's this? Don't worry. We're at TSMA right now. But that's the whole thing too. Like, just because you don't think you're in the promised land, well, I'm gonna get there one day. I'm gonna do this one. You could be in the sanctuary of that already, and it's 2 steps over. But we're so far guided from it. Our perception of the promised land is Lamborghinis and Bugattis and 17 house mansions and being able to flex to our friends who said we'll never be anything or whatever else. You have to see yourself already there, understand where you are in retrospect, but you're never going to feel that until you feel the absolute divinity of what is. I wish I could share with you all what it feels like to be in the presence of God, like for real, besides a sanctuary or sitting down having a book. I mean, literally, physically, and spiritually, mentally, know that you're in the presence of one of the voices that speak for God, the angel of God, Christ, whatever it may be, that the understanding of mind, to know that is the most holiest divine feeling. And you feel so clean. There's no fiending for anything. There's no withdrawals from anything. There's no, I'm missing anything. You're the star dust and the particles of everything that is. And I know it's hard for you to comprehend that, but understand that it's all yours if you seek the truth within yourself. So my take and my last conversation to that, I know I've kind of overstepped Heck, is to know that whatever it may be, you have to get to a point to where you love and love beyond. It's not about attacking the kingdom. It's about becoming the kingdom. The journey to love is not finding the one. Let's repeat that. Hashtag, I did a video about that actually. It's on my TikTok. It's on Oracle. I think it's the Oracle Mother Goddess. Yeah, maybe Alexis T or something like that. We'll get it. The links are there. But the journey to love is not finding the one, everybody. Let's say it together. The journey to love is not finding the one. The journey to love is becoming
the one.
The journey to love is that. And becoming the one means you become one with what is one within you. Every time you run away from that part, you're running away from yourself. Further and further to understand what you are, who you are, and the mission of why you're here. So I'm going to hand it over to Heck, even though he's been here trying to brawl with it. I don't know. I felt that power.
I think that's great because I kind of took over the last one, so this is kind of.
Yeah, he kind of balanced me out. He took the energy of what I had the energy, but everybody. I mean, to be real about it, I'll probably elaborate more on RDC like I have been, but there's been different steps in my life, and we all have our own family and life extensions and stuff outside of our control that take from you, and not to mention the multiple things. And I won't say depression gets me, because once you're aware and you're open up in third eye perspective, you can't really mourn the way you mourned before. You can't really go through those things. But I have been mourning a lot over my sister, my brother, my dad, all of them, having different encounters with stuff, seeing, it's just a lot for one person to take for a plate that I had my whole life. And it's been hard. But I didn't have that energy earlier. And I told Heck, I'm like, I want to go on here. And I said, regardless what the adversary, don't give all the power to Diablo because he don't deserve it. But I'm saying, like, regardless of how many hits I keep swinging and keep trying to attack me, I'm going to keep going. And if I would have said no to this tonight, it would have been horrible. I would have just really felt defeated because I'm like, I can't let every hiccup slide me back. I can't let everything go there. But Heck was like, look, I got the slack. I'll step up. His energy was permeating. His smile is so radiant. I'm telling you, I am obsessed. If I could bottle Mr. Hector Rivera, Mr. Heck versus Hell himself. If I could bottle his smile, not to mention the dimples, very handsome. Yeah, he's a very, very, very handsome man. But I'm saying, like, to bottle his smile up, his energy, his laugh, that's something that I wish I could put on the shelf of every store. Because if we had that, it gets you going. Sometimes I can just stare at his photo and just smile, and I just be laughing when I hear him. I'm like, man, I can't get it myself. I can't bring it up myself, but I can use it from him, and that helps a lot. I hope you have someone like that in your life, or take from Heck. Maybe he's spreading it anyway. Just saying. He's spreading it anyway, but I'm saying sometimes you just need that where you're like, I can't push it out myself, but I got someone to help me do it. So yeah, maybe I took that over. But yeah, you can go ahead, add your flavor on anything I've said or what you want to talk about. I wanted to get that part in there, everybody, about the kingdom of heaven, and we kind of pre-talked about it a little bit. But yeah, God allowed this energy to come through me to share that with all of you.
Oh, that's it. That's it right
Yay!
there.
Woo, 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 woo,
I
woo.
mean, I could, say the closing line right there. Because yeah,
Oh,
no, that's
really? Okay.
that was actually a really deep perspective and turn that you took on there, is even taking it and seeing it as attacking ourselves as attacking the kingdom of heaven, which I find amazing, because that's true. We were all made and created in God's image, so that's
Absolutely.
yeah, oh yeah, that's
That was some truth seeker mastermind for everybody and some more. And I'm happy that and
some
pardon
live
me,
revelation.
everyone. Yeah, pardon me for the fluctuations. I mean, I love what Zoom can offer in this conversation, but it doesn't let me have control over the audio input settings. If it does, it moves me back. I don't like that. I don't know if I'll continue on with them for the third year, but I try to do something a little different. We were going to do video, but it is night. Weather's unpredictable and so forth. But we want to be able to give you the doses of life, the hex and the verses and the hells, everything in there with the truth it does tell. Okay, the flipping the switch on your mind,
The
right?
heaven, the heck, and
The
the hell.
spirit and mind elevator. You think about that. It's the real double dose that gives you the spirit and mind elevation that flips the switch to what you need, and it also helps to your journey with heck and the what the heck and the versus hell, where the truth is tell. And then you have the Truth Seekers Mastermind Alliance to put them all together to lead the journey. It really goes. It's all an ensemble of boom, boom, boom,
Mm-hmm.
boom, boom. So we did do a cap on that, and I didn't think I was going to have as much energy to give, but that wasn't my energy to give. That was given to me to
Transferred it.
all of you. Absolutely. God's transmission was, look, I'm
Absolutely.
a straight shooter. So I think Heck should
Amen.
give you a little bit more elaboration on what he was finishing off, though, before we finish off here in a few minutes, so we can kind of get right back on to why we have a part two.
No, I was actually, hey, I was going based off of like, you know what I'm saying? I
Ah,
can't
come
compete.
on now. He's trying to back up on us, people. He's trying to back up on his family and
Absolutely,
get him.
absolutely.
Cancel him
No, yeah,
Friday. Cancel him Friday. Cancel him.
cancel
Oh.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Don't
turn the
tune in.
audio
Don't tune
back
in
up a little
Friday
bit,
now.
just in case. Just in case. The audio keeps going back down no matter how much I change it. So something's going on with this. Thanks, Zoom. Appreciate it. Anyway. Hey, I hope you can hear me. Your speakers or your headphones or however you're doing it. We're gonna try to work on that to where we have a collab where I can have somewhere where my audio is controlled. And there's many other things out there. So we just gotta figure out which one very soon. Hopefully tonight we figure that out because I want to feel like you guys can hear me just as well as you can hear Heck on here.
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Hector over here. Hector.
that's
Sorry.
me.
All right, everybody. Well, we want to
No,
say
but
thank
yeah.
you and our love.
Thank you for tuning
Did you want
in.
to add something else? I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna say exactly what you're saying right now. Actually,
I can't really hear you. Is your audio down?
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing you're saying right now.
Oh,
Actually,
okay. I hear you. All right. Well, I mean, that's all there is to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we're not going to draw this out anymore. I hope this has been, it wasn't drawn out, but we're not going to push it to where people can draw it out for the next 20 minutes on babbling on there. But I just want to say, yeah,
that's
I
right,
hope
because we're
this is
heaven, not Babylon.
and we're not Babble, no endorsement. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in if you've been listening this far. And thank you for being extraordinary. You and what you got to go through. Remember, the only battle that you're fighting, and I was that Les Brown has said that one time on there. Mr. Les Brown himself has said some African proverb, if I'm not mistaken, by you probably can find it on YouTube or so forth. That section of his speech, some years and years ago. I think it was maybe in the late 80s or something. But he has said the proverb, proverb said, "If there's no enemy from within, nothing can do you harm," and that stuck with me over a decade later. And I looked at the triple E plus three heck, and I was actually looking at it, and I said, you know what? I've actually started the triple E plus three in about 2014. My whole life, of course, but the triple E plus three started roughly around the ending of 2014. So I'm like, man, I've been a decade in the game with this. No wonder I'm so boom. Got it. Don't worry, all that's gonna come. I know you guys and Angela and Heck have been giving me feedback. Tony has too, about how there's not really been a call to action. And it's been like that on purpose for the simple fact of I wasn't ready to put myself out there or anything else going on. But the leveling out is it's out here coming out right now. And that's the best I can do. I can't make up for the past because I knew it wasn't time, but I will be making up as much as I can for the future.
I've
So
been
you can
shaking
find
my
all
fist
that.
at her, everybody.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I've been shaking my fist at her.
We're gonna have more things and invites for all of you, and it's gonna be tasty. Don't worry about it. We got you on all the syndicates, so we love you. Remember the
You know
beat.
what? Let's start it now. Actually, matter of fact, let's start it now. First 5 people to email us hashtag Truth Seekers Mastermind Alliance. We're gonna be giving away 5 vacation packages. How about that?
Oh, good.
To make up.
Well, if he puts some more energy behind it, we'll do it. Everybody, come on. The first 5 people, he says, that email us hashtag Truth Seekers Mastermind Alliance,
That's right.
referencing this episode. What's the episode title?
Mm-hmm. The attack on the Kingdom of Heaven, Part 2.
Yeah, attacks on the Kingdom of Heaven Part 2. Okay. If you put that in the reference point, okay, and depending on when this rolls out, when it happens, I'll have Angela on the Stilo. She's been having problems with the login. I haven't. It's been
Mm-hmm.
her. It's been her. It's more of a security thing. When we use Yandex, I think that's more of a Russian platform. Wanted to have something different at the time when it happened. So we just stuck with it over the years. But yeah, you put that on there, you will get a free vacation minus taxes and fees, which shouldn't cost you that much, the same as you would a nice vacuum cleaner. Okay. And it should be good. It should be good going on in there and getting you started. So we'll make
That's
that
right.
more available between 3 to 5 nights and get you going on that. Don't be afraid and hesitant. And I know a lot of people think, oh, well, you guys
Let's
probably
go.
had a couple thousand people reach out to you. There's no way. I used to think that too. Like, man, there's no way I
People
have.
hesitate. People hesitate, y'all.
They do hesitate. They do hesitate because they think, well, 5 people already beat me. I've been hearing this 3 days later after you aired. I have no chance.
You never
We'll
know.
make
They
it.
might have.
We'll make it 10. We'll make it 10 just to double it up, double dose. We'll make it 10.
First 10 people. How's that?
Yeah, the first 10 people that do the hashtag. We will check the spam folders and so much, but give us, a little time. So when you're hearing this air, okay, we'll be having that open up once it's aired. It'll be 24 hours after the airing itself. That will be eligible for that. And even if
Correct.
you do, and then you know what? How about this? I'm gonna be so driven by what God works in me. I'm gonna take as many as I can, up to I think maybe up to like a 25 person point. That's what I'll do. So I'm gonna double dose it for everybody. So 25 3 to 5 night packages you can choose, and maybe we'll have an onboarding on where you like to choose to go. I want to be extra generous so you can get your vacation on, and there's no strings attached whatsoever. We're just going to be thanking you for being a listener, and we'll also be rolling this out on our YouTube channel just in case, and anywhere else that we have to, so you know that it's legit. And there's over maybe 7,000 people with their experiences and vacations and so forth that have enjoyed these vacations from a truly legitimate Inc. 500 company. So it's nothing stagnant or sketchy over here. All right. So
That's
anyway,
right.
remember, thank you for listening to the Truth Seekers Mastermind Alliance, TSMA with RDC, and that's Real Double Dose channel. Make sure you check in every Friday before 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for HVH. That's Heck versus Hell with the Truth He Tells with Mr. Hector Rivera. And you got Lexus T over here also with LexEffectCoaching.com. That's going to be rolling out even more. S&M, Spirit and Mind Elevation, and www.realdoubledosechannel.com and snmelevation.com as well. We see you on there on the analytical side. We see everybody hitting different places up, and we want to thank you for your well, basically your grace of being around and listening and downloading and being there. That means a whole lot. You know, 1 = 1 million, and we pray that it's hit at least 100 million people internally from the ripple effect already, which I'm pretty sure it has in some way, shape, or form. Thank you for your love. Remember to be the change, feel the passion, okay? Embrace the power of the spirit. And like Heck always says,
We will see you
on
on
the
the
flip
flip side.
side. Blessings.